Welcome back to Dubster Dives. Here's where we take a look at something's English dub and let you know if it's all good or not. And we're here with something that's actually really good for once.
Well, obviously, the tell should have been nobody's not here.
That's a good point. So, yeah, as you can tell by the title, Blue Exorcist! And up front, you might be shocked to know I really like this show. I think I made a comment a while back saying I thought it was a better Devil May Cry anime than the Devil May Cry anime.
Yeah, that still checks out.
Well, yeah, like, it literally has the main theme of family. You've got twins that are involved heavily with demon hunting, and they're half-breeds. Then the legacy of a daddy, etc. Think about it, it's got a lot of similarities to DMC. What, am I the only one who saw the comparisons?
No, you're the only one.
I'm sure.
There's no inspiration at all from it.
I couldn't find anything on that. Well, speaking of which, let's get into this. So, what is Blue Exorcist? Which, if you haven't seen it yet, you should. It's really good. Blue Exorcist, or Owl No Exorcist, is a manga series written by Kazue Kato, which began in 2009. Currently has 27 volumes. And she's another one of those mangaka that constantly gets ill or something going on hiatuses. Yeah, it's another Hunter x Hunter situation if you're caught up on the manga. Oh, I feel kind of bad. Why does this keep happening, Dai?
Yes.
She would actually cite Berserk as her primary influence for this series, saying that the relationship between Guts, Casca, and Griffith are something that she really loved. And, I mean, there's some Berserk references if you look, or inspiration, but how the main characters act, I don't know.
I don't see it.
Well, anyway, the anime adaptation would begin in 2011 by A1 Pictures. Everybody loves A1, right, Dai?
They do?
They did Seven Deadly Sins, first couple of seasons, SAO, and Dai's favorite anime of all time, Asterisk Score.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
He loves it. As far as the dub, it would begin on October 2nd, 2012 on Neon Alley, which was the first time I saw this series. It might be shocked to know this is one of those shows I fell in love with immediately after just Ep 1. So, I miss Neon Alley though, man. What?
It's just dead. You're gonna have to deal with it.
Well, as we mentioned before, we follow twins Ren Okumura and Yukio Okumura. As Ren, we see in the first couple of episodes, he's out of temper if he sees someone being a dick. Like, we see him stop people from bullying a poor innocent pigeon. Yeah, those people are assholes, man. I agree with them beating the shit out of them.
How could you do that to a fortune cookie?
What? Anyway. But yeah, come to find out, you learn soon after that Ren is actually the son of Satan, and that he was adopted by his father at the time, Shiro Fujimoto, who's an exorcist and actually a paladin, which is the highest class of exorcist. I'll explain all that in a little bit. But yeah, Ren obviously being upset that he was lied to his whole life, and not wanting to accept the fact that he is literally half demon and the son of the fucking devil, gets angry at Shiro and says, "Don't ever let me see you pretending to be my dad again!" Thus making Shiro's mind weak and allowing Satan to possess him. But Shiro's final act of will was to make sure that Satan doesn't have Ren, so he kills himself in an epic sacrifice to save his son. Ren declares after this he will get revenge and beat the shit out of Satan, which is the most asked quote people ask the lead voice actor to say, is "I'm going to beat the shit out of Satan." I mean, it is a pretty meta line, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, fast forward slightly after that, Ren goes to True Cross Academy to learn how to be an exorcist, because it's either that or be executed. And yeah, getting there, he's like, "I'm going to protect my brother. Yukio doesn't need to know anything about this." But it turns out Yukio was actually an exorcist the whole time and is now Rin's class teacher. Because he's been an exorcist for years. And things go from
He's an
there.
exorcist the whole time.
Exactly. And I gotta say up front, the sibling bantering between the two, where Ren is the hothead or whatever, and Yukio is the calm, composed one who likes to take everything seriously and do things by the book, I think it works very well. Trust me, having two older siblings myself, I could tell you the banter is very authentic. Which I think is really difficult to do when you've got... They're like, oh, they're siblings! A lot of times it doesn't feel as genuine, and whereas here I do feel like it's real to me, at least. It's real to me, Ty!
I'm sure it is.
We've got other main characters and stuff, too, and all these other plot threads, because Ren has to keep the fact that he's the son of Satan and his demon heritage secret from the rest of his class, while also trying to be an exorcist, which is very difficult for him to do. But, yeah, that's the basic setup of it, as they go through their things of trying to go up the exorcist ladder and eventually work their way up beating the demons till they eventually find the head honcho, Satan. Did you like the story, Di? Because I thought it was fucking great. And I know someone's gonna bring up the filler shit. We will get to that.
That just makes it very confusing.
Yes, obviously you can tell in the video, we're gonna be covering everything. The movie, the OVA, the seasons 1 to 2. Yeah. So, first, animation. Di, how was it for Season 1? I know you said the filler portions had some silly CGI, which doesn't surprise me, but outside of that...
It's a very... It was good sometimes and very white other times.
Oh,
also, I guess the stupid comedic ones too.
Oh, you mean where they...
In other words, it could vary to be all over the place.
Yeah, but that's it.
But it's not Dean levels of gore. Nothing could be that bad.
Thank you for mentioning Dean this time instead of the other punching bag you always go to.
Yeah, exactly. It's not Ori.
Motherfucker! Anyway. Yeah, animation was, I guess, fine for what it is, from what he's saying. Now, as far as the music...
It actually has animation and not shaky cam during a fight to make it seem like there's animation.
Yeah, I think the fights are pretty awesome. Which, again, we'll get to that when we get to the characters. Now, as far as the music, I actually love the OST for this. The composers were Hiroyuki Sawano and Kota Yamamoto, which they are the ones that have always worked together on Kill la Kill, Attack on Titan, Seven Deadly Sins, etc. And I cannot think of a bad OST from these guys. Can you?
Yes. That one.
I mean, some of my favorite themes include You and Cloud, which is, as I call it, the hype theme. Trust me, anyone who's seen this anime will immediately recognize that theme when you hear it. Devil Exorcist, which is an awesome, like, really good fight track with the whole choirs and everything. And then there's Call Me, which is a nice soft song that plays whenever there's a moment on the acoustic guitar. I really like that one, too.
They really love that in Season 2.
I like that song a lot, though, so I didn't mind.
No,
But yeah,
for real, they played it like 7 times in Season 2.
We're not on Season 2 yet, don't die. Getting ahead of yourself. But yeah, these guys are really gifted at making fucking catchy tunes. And honestly, I could immediately, like, whenever I hear any of the OST from this, like, oh, that's Blue Exorcist. Just like with Kill la Kill, when you hear Don't Lose Your Way. I don't care if that's not the name of the song. I'm calling it that. Fuck you.
Go draw your body off.
But yeah, or the Attack on Titan like main themes, or even the Seven Deadly Sins main theme also. Like all they do really good shit. So I've got no complaints about the OST. Got a lot of its songs in my Spotify too. Now let's get to the reason you're all here, so we could also introduce all the characters. Dubster Dive. The dub was handled by Bang Zoom. Yay! With ADR director Alex Von David and Tony Oliver. We've covered a lot of Alex's dubs before. I didn't even know he ADR directed this right after we were finished with Haruhi.
People might think you're obsessed with them at this point.
I know, dude, because we were going to cover this last month, but, you know, shit happens. And then, like, right after Haruhi, I started looking stuff up on this show. It's like, Alex Von David again? I promise you it was just a coincidence.
It's not, though.
Anyway, I believe he also did this, worked on the scripts too. I was unable to find 100% confirmation on that, but yeah. Either way, though, yeah, as far as our main cast, we've got Rin Okumura, who we already said is a hothead who gets angry a lot. And is also comedic and everything. Voiced by Bryce Papenbrook, who's Makoto from Danganronpa, Eren from Attack on Titan, and Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins. But more importantly, he's Shota Vash from Trigun.
Oh, please, you brought up that basic bitch, but you didn't bring up Nagito?
Because I was doing a thing. But yeah, Bryce would actually say voicing Ren was actually very challenging for him, because Ren is literally all over the place with his emotions, especially capturing his anger and his visceral growls and everything, particularly when he goes, as I call it, devil trigger mode. Dude, it's literally devil trigger, isn't it? What?
I mean, when he loses control, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me. Also, Bryce apparently saw the show in sub before the dub was being produced, so yeah, he was already a fan of it when getting into it. And yeah, would you be surprised to know he absolutely loves this franchise, and he enjoyed voicing Ren despite all the challenges. He also said he loved the comedy bits too, that there were times where he would walk out of the booth crying because of how funny some of the scenes were, which, yeah, I will say the comedy is pretty good in this show too. Oh no, Dai. Did you like the comedy also?
Those are big ears.
Yeah, there's a moment where they see a giant squid demon, and they try reading off a sutra or whatever, or a passage from the Bible to exorcise it, and the guy's like, "It's not working, man!" And Ren goes, "What? Well, how come it can't hear you? I mean, look at those giant ears!" And he's like, "Seriously, Ren? Those are fins, man!" Did you know I thought those were ears too for the longest time?
Yeah.
But Bryce would also...
Both 30.
Yeah, he'd also make a comment saying, you gotta have fun voicing characters for it to really shine through in your performance. In short, you gotta love this job in order to do it. So, too bad a lot of other voice actors today don't have that mindset, acting like entitled bitches. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ren is a really great fucking protag. I like him a lot. It's just, you know, he wants to do what's best for his brother and his family and all that stuff. He's cool peoples. Oh, I guess real quick, I should go over the classes for Exorcist before we move on, so we can tell you what each class person is going for, because there's 5 of them. The first one's Knight, which uses swords, which obviously... Oh, I didn't even bring that up. So Rin also, his powers are sealed away in what's called the Coma Sword. Anytime he draws it, his flames awaken. So he's always carrying the sword with him to make sure he doesn't lose it. So yeah, he's going for the Knight class. Then there's Arias who use chants to exorcise demons, you know, from the Bible and stuff. Doctors, which that's self-explanatory. They're the white mage. Tamers who use familiars, and dragoons who use pistols, like Yukio. So doesn't he use dual pistols?
Yeah.
You can...
Demons using guns. He's never voiced a role like that before. Oh wait, we're not on him yet.
We're about to be. You can also be a dual class as well, which Yukio's going for the doctor class too, so... Yeah. Speaking of which, though, let's get to our doing it by the books hard-ass Yukio. He's voiced by Johnny Ambash. Oh, hey, look, Nero from Devil May Cry. What?
Well, minus the whole doing it by the book thing.
Yeah, but you know what? He always says, like, Exorcist, we have a job to do. We have a mission. Do it this way, blah, blah, blah. That's what I mean. Where he gets angry at Ren for not following the rules. But yeah. That is Vash from Trigun, Ichigo from Bleach, and Hajime from Doggy Ranpa 2. But look, Dai! Both Vash and Shota Vash are twins! Just like Hajime and Makoto.
He's also a frog.
But yeah, this is another one where Johnny and Bosch did a fantastic fucking job, because there are moments where obviously Yukio gets really pissed off, especially at Ren's antics. Where Ren's like, dude, you think you're so badass just because this chick is crushing on you at all? And Yukio's like, what does she have to do with anything? Which is true, actually. She didn't have anything to do with the argument. But again, their banter, like I said, is very believable. Because, yeah, they argue and bicker all the fucking time, but you can also tell they really do care for each other. Which is a very hard balancing act, I think, to do, but they handle it really well, in my opinion. Make both of them likable and all that.
It's especially hard to balance it not making them both come off as insufferable if they do it that often.
As a side note, this is what I wanted from Meliodas and Zeldris and Sins. I wanted more of this. We got a couple of scenes of that, but not enough in my opinion. What?
Yeah.
But yeah. So, those two, fucking great playing off each other too. You can tell they're having a lot of fun. After him is our main female, Shiami. Voiced by Christine Marie Cabanos, who's Madoka from Madoka Magica. And, I'm probably going to butcher this, is that Rinwell from Tales of Arise? I haven't played that game! And...
I haven't either. I have it in my Steam backlog.
But more importantly, Marie Rose from the Dead or Alive games. Don't you dare say core values, you son of a bitch!
I didn't, you just did.
Well, anyway, she wants to be a tamer. That's basically her whole thing. She, feels bad because her grandmother died in the garden. She wants to find what's known as the Garden of Amahara, which is apparently a place in heaven where all the plants are gathered, the most beautiful scenery, etc.
Plant yourself.
Because she promised her grandmother that she would find it one day. She's also, what would you consider her, the pseudo-white mage? Because she puts up protection barriers with her familiar, does healing shit with the familiar too. What? So we've seen her heal people's wounds. Yeah. But yeah, they do the whole theme really well with her too, where Rin again blames himself for his dad getting killed by Satan, because like if I never said that, then this wouldn't have happened. So when you see Shami blame herself for her grandmother's death because her grandmother was killed by a demon, Rin immediately snaps her out of it because he can relate and being like, your grandmother wouldn't want you to live like this. Keep moving forward. You know, live up to what she expects. You promised you'd find that garden, right? This is a really good fucking scene. And yes, Christine Marie Cabanos does excellent as Shami. She's the typical ditzy, clumsy waifu. Best girl, right, Di?
So like most of her roles.
Yeah. It's a lot like Nepgear. Oh. Oh, nothing for that. After that, I grouped these next three together because I labeled them as the victims of the Blue Knight, which is probably the thing that was inspired by Berserk. If you're wondering what that is, 16 years ago, or 15 years ago, on the Blue Knight, Satan crossed over into our world and murdered a shit ton of the top exorcists at a temple and a bunch of clergymen. And these next three are students in Rin's class that also had family members that suffered from that. So they all have their own reasons for being there. But yeah, you notice that, Di? An event that where a lot of people's important family members were murked by demons, like the Eclipse, causing them to want to go on a quest for vengeance. Yeah, it's like that. When they say that, it's like, okay, it clicked for me when we were watching season 2. I was like, all right, so that's where the comparison came from. All right. The first one we have is Ryuji Suguro, or Bon as they call him as a nickname. And yeah, he's basically Ren's rival / friend. He's just as hot-headed as Ren, and he wants to be a dragoon and Arya. He's going for dual classes.
Or they also call him Roosterhead because of his mohawk.
Yep, and punk rock.
Is that the most common insult for people? Mohawks?
I don't know, man. They did that exact same shit with Basby and Bleach. Remember, Renji called him Roosterhead. But yeah. And him and Ren obviously don't get along very well because Bon is at the top of the class, studying very fucking hard and doing everything he can, whereas Ren is at the bottom of the class because Ren is a dumbass. When I say dumbass, I don't mean he's retarded. He's actually... No, they handle it well. He's just academically stupid. He occasionally does come up with a good idea here or there. And there's a fine line between...
I mean, it's hard to have high marks in academics when you're always sleeping in the fucking class.
That's true. But yeah, there's a fine line between making your character a little dense and a full-on fucking retard. But yeah, so him and Bond don't get along very well. Bond is voiced by Kyle Hebert, Kamina from Gurren Lagann, Kaito from Danganronpa V3, and Aizen from Bleach.
And the Kamina thing is very relevant.
Oh, we'll get there in a bit. Oh, don't worry, I got a few of those written down. But yeah, so Bond wants to beat the shit out of Satan also because of the Blue Knight. After that, though, we have another member of his friend group, Shima. Shima wants to be an Arya, chant and all that stuff. And he's basically the wimp of the group. He even has a phobia of bugs. He also likes hitting on lots of chicks.
Just like you.
Hey, wait a minute. Anyway, he's voiced by Brian Peacock, who's Monokuma from the Danganronpa games. The only Monokuma I'll accept, damn it. And Takato from Digimon Tamers. Fine Yumichika from Bleach. And yeah, this is another one where you could tell he's having a shit ton of fun with this. You could tell he absolutely loves this role. Who wouldn't, though?
He also dyed his hair pink.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, did we only find out about that
in season 2? Yeah, in season 2. Yeah. But either way, I really like Shima. Shima's awesome. He's kind of comedic relief, but when the going gets tough, he knows how to step up. That's his whole thing, basically. He's learning how to be brave, and that's his character arc, which works well for him. After him, we have Konakamaru, who's the last member of Bond's group. He also wants to be an Arya. He's voiced by Mona Marshall, who's Izzy from Digimon Adventure, and, yeah, Kyle's mom from South Park. Still to this day, actually, which is surprising to me. Dude, she's old as fuck.
I'm just confused why she was...
Yeah. It's surprising is how old she is, yet she doesn't sound it, at least to me. But yeah, he also wants revenge on Satan because his parents were killed soon after he was born on the Blue Knight.
The blue people.
The blue people! And, he's also one of the people who reins Bond in when Bond's going too far, being a dick. That's his whole thing. You get a lot on him later on in Season 2, and in the filler, I guess, as well. Which we'll get to after we're done. We're almost done with our main cast. Because after him, we have the last student in the class that matters, for now, Izumo, who's the tsundere. She's also a waifu. If you don't agree with that guy, you're wrong.
Whatever you say, hooker.
She's voiced by Kira Buckland, to be from Nier Automata. And Amari from Welcome to Demon School, Rimakun. Give us another season, that you fucking bitches. What?
No, you just get the narrator from that as ad voices.
And yeah, she's a tamer. She uses foxes to fight. I'll go over what Shammy uses in a bit, because that one actually has a voice actor. That was easy enough to track down. But yeah, Izumo's backstory we haven't learned much on yet currently. I think that might be coming up in Season 3, though. So there's not much to really go on.
The thumbnails of one of the episodes, she does get a flashback during it.
Yeah, so there's not much to go on with her right now. All you got is she's basically the bitch of the class that eventually starts slowly warming up to Rin and everyone else around her. And she always says what's on her mind. She's very brutally honest to a fault. So... But yeah, Kira Buckland would say she loved how snarky Izumo was. Yeah, I should mention Kyle Hebert and all the others really said they loved playing these characters too. Shouldn't surprise you. But after her, we have Shiro Fujimoto, voiced by Kirk Thornton, who's Harry Mason from Silent Hill Shattered Memories.
Damn it.
Askeladd from Netflix's dub of Vinland Saga, and Shadow the Hedgehog from the current Sonic games, meaning he's played nothing but dads. I know what I said.
Hedgehog's a dad?
Hell yeah, wait a minute. But yeah. And I gotta be honest, Shiro's a really cool dude. He's another one who's like, whenever he gets injured, you see in flashbacks, like, well, I'm glad I got injured. I got injured on purpose, because now I could go to the hospital and see the hot nurses. But you see in flashbacks, like, this guy, I should mention there's ranks, like, Page, which is the weakest, XY is right above that, then you've got Exorcist Intermediate Class, he's the Paladin, or was the Paladin before he got killed.
Or the Paladin, at some point, other backflashes, he's lower ranks.
Yeah. Well, I think it was like at the point where he was head of the monastery where Rin and Yukio, he was the paladin at that time. And there can only be one, as they said. Which, definitely some Naruto influence there with the whole Hokage thing. Obviously, like, because Rin says that his goal, he also wants to become the paladin, because then it'll prove he's the strongest exorcist. But yeah, Kirk does a really good fucking job coming across as the caring father who means well. And also when he's possessed by Satan. Side note, whenever Kirk was in something for the last, like, decade, we saw him, me and I just said, oh, hey, look, Satan's on the cast list. As a meme. But yeah, like, Satan is so ham and over the top. When Rin's like, Dad, is that you? And he just goes, that's right, you can call me Papa. Come give me a hug. It's like he's such an asshole. You could tell he's having the time of his life doing it. So Kirk has to go to two sides of the extreme. Caring, loving dad, and then psychotic, evil bastard. And I think it works very well. And yes, I think I'm going to slap another show about demon hunting here. Shiro actually works as a father figure we get to know a little bit back, who's not just a plot device and nothing more, unlike Tanjiro's family in Demon Slayer. Dude, I'm sorry, I do not give a fuck about his family in that. Like, they should have, at least with Shiro, after he dies on like Ep 2 or so, they keep they keep flashing back to him and showing us more on him and showing how he affected everyone. Yeah. Not just Rin and Yukio, but we see his relationship with all the other characters in the past. So it makes Shiro feel like he's always there. You never forget about him. And you can see why Rin wants revenge, because Shiro was a genuinely good dude.
No, you mean someone who's dead who still gets lots of screen time feels like is always there?
Yeah, kind of like Thor's in Vinland Saga. Yeah, and Freeman, obviously.
Like
but I was going to
say the rest of the heroes party in Freerun.
Yeah, I was going to compare him to Thor's in Vinland Saga.
Yeah.
You know, since that's part of Thorfinn's motivation.
Yeah. And he will continue to be typecasted as dads like this.
Yep. After him,
we get Marshall again.
Yeah, after him, we have Mephistopheles, who's the head of True Cross Academy, and the guy is, he's a massive troll. He loves being very playful and everything, and you never know what he's thinking. You also find out real quick, he's a demon that's a double agent. Yeah. So you never know. It's like, is he on the side of humans, or is he actually with demons? Because he says he wants to help raise Rin, because he promised Shiro he would, to be a weapon for the Order, to take on Satan. But you never quite know what he's thinking, because there are other signs that show maybe he's still with the demon realm. And, yeah, he's voiced by Sam Riegel, Phoenix Wright from the Ace Attorney games, and Teddy from Persona 4.
Or fake Phoenix from the anime.
Yeah, or fake Nick from the anime. And this is probably one of my favorite Sam Riegel performances, honestly. He's having so much fun voicing this. Especially every time he casts a spell and has to do Ein, Zwei, Drei.
I don't know.
Dude, he's such a fun fucking character to watch on screen. And he's one of those people that loves humans because he finds them entertaining and fun, which is why he said he abandoned the demon realm. Because he thinks demons are just fucking boring. Fun fact, by the way, apparently people confused Bryce for Sam in this dub, thinking Bryce was double cast. I don't hear it at all. Yeah,
Some
I don't.
People are fucking weird.
I got nothing, my dude. But yeah. After him, we have our, I guess you'd call him first major antag, who's Mephisto's brother, a Maimon, the King of Earth, who's a major demon. Voiced by Daryl Gibo, who's Beautiful Joe, which I did not know that till looking up stuff for this vid, I'm not gonna lie. And Mikado Ryugamine from Durarara, which I believe that was also an Alex dub, which makes sense. He likes recycling people. And Daryl would actually say this was the most difficult anime voice role he's ever had to do. Because he said Amaimon's whole innocent nature, while still being evil as hell, but being playful and innocent at the same time, was very difficult to balance. Because, yeah, Amaimon takes a vested interest in Ren. Because, like, oh, he's the son of our father. Well, then, I want to see what he's all about. Etc. He's just crazy. Oh, I didn't mention this real quick. There's a moment where, several moments where Mephisto is in dog form and Sam changes his voice for that and does a higher pitched voice. I don't know, I like that.
Why he disguises himself as a dog? Ask him. I don't fucking know.
Okay, only a few characters left, and don't worry, we don't have that many to go over after that, once we get past that. Once we get to the movie in Season 2. So after that, we've got Kuro, who's Ren's familiar. He's a cat that used to belong to Shiro, but when Shiro died, Kuro became sad until Ren calmed him down. You get it? Shiro means white and Kuro means black. See what they did there, Dai?
It's so subtle, it's like a slap across the face.
Yeah, he's a Catsie, or demon cat. He's voiced by Stephanie Sheh, Usagi, or Sailor Moon, from Sailor Moon, and Mikuru from Haruhi Suzumiya. She was fine. I oftentimes forget Kuro's even fucking here, because he'll just disappear for like 7 episodes at a time. Is it like that in the manga? Someone please tell me.
I mean, I think we can tell when a lot of the filler happened, because Kuro's there for the entirety of Season 2.
That's true, he was. Yeah. Well, he's fine. After that, we have what seems to be a lot of people's favorite character. I do not blame them. Shura. I believe Shura was also voted most popular waifu for this franchise. Again, not shocked in the slightest. I mean, didn't you even say she looks a little like Yoko from Gurren Lagann? Kind of.
Yeah, dressed a little like her too.
Yeah.
People like waifus wearing little clothing.
I mean, I don't blame them. Anyway, yeah, so she's voiced by Wendy Lee, Yoruichi from Bleach, and Lisa from DOA. Also, speaking of Haruhi Suzumiya. And yeah, Wendy Lee absolutely loves this role. I don't blame her. Dude, she was such a fun character. So she's one of the top senior exorcists, and she ends up training Rin to help master his flames. And because apparently her and Shiro were friends when Shiro was alive, and he asked her, he's like, if anything ever happens to me, would you watch over him, blah, blah, blah. Also, what does Shiro fight with? I didn't even mention that. What these people fight with. I guess good from the classes. Doesn't she use like a...
Most people call it online a booba sword.
Oh. Doesn't she use a... Well, she keeps mentioning snake fangs and shit.
Yeah.
So I thought a sword moved like a snake, kind of like Zabimaru, but I guess not. Or does it?
I mean... because of how much it was filmed, we didn't explore that much of her flashbacks.
I guess that's true.
It does have a whole snake thing going on. The sword has snake eyes on it.
Yeah. Well, either way, Shura, she's one of those people that hates doing heavy work. But she even gets drunk a lot, so you get drunk Wendy Lee. And I think she does a really good job playing that. But again, another character, when the going gets tough, you can tell why she's one of the strongest exorcists in the Order. Much like Yoruichi, huh? I mean, they even call her a ninja at one point, which makes it even more silly. But yeah, this is probably one of my favorite roles by Wendy Lee also, to be honest. And just a couple more. We have the new paladin next. Arthur Auguste Angel, who is called the Man of the Year in the film. This guy is really up his own ass. And believes the Vatican's always right, etc.
Yeah.
And Shira constantly calls him Baldy. And he makes the joke saying, Baldy, I've got a full head of hair! Which, doesn't he still?
Yes.
She also calls him a hippie. Yeah, I'll get over some of the dub script things in a minute. Don't worry. But yeah, he's voiced by David Vincent, who's Vaughn of the Dawn from God X Sword. We need to watch that show, die. And Grimmjow from Bleach. And for how little he is here, again, it's David Vincent. I've always been a mark for him. Because whenever I hear him, I always just think, oh my god, it's Grimmjow! What, I thought that when he first showed up in this show. All those years ago.
Of course you did. Of course the Bleach mark would think that.
But yeah, he's having fun, you could tell. I wish we got more on him. Maybe we will later, I guess.
Yeah. But he had a cameo in Season 2.
He didn't even talk in Season 2.
But he was there.
No. Well, after that, we have Paku, who's a class member for like only a few episodes and then fucks off. She's Izuma's friend. I'm bringing her up because she also voices Ni. Ni is Shiami's familiar, who's a plant thing that just says Ni again and again. They are both voiced by Cassandra Lee Morris, who's Morgana from Persona 5, and Asahina from the Danganronpa games, or Wasabi from Boruto. I guess first voice of Wasabi now, huh? Yeah, that dub's in its own world of switching people. What up?
Yeah.
Hey, she said she had fun voicing a plant, that she could finally tack that off on her resume. And she said she always gets paired... What up?
Well, it is a plant, you could tell, because it doesn't talk.
Oh, I hope people get that reference. But yeah, she, Cassandra Morris would actually make a comment saying how her and Christine Marie Cabanos always get paired up, with her being her familiar occasionally, bringing up Kyubey from Madoka Magica. And she's like, Kyubey only mildly annoyed Madoka. It's not like she destroyed her whole life or anything.
Yeah. What, did she appreciate to say Kyubey did nothing wrong?
But yeah. Either way, he had fun. He had lots of fun. Now, as far as our filler villain, might as well mention Ernst Frederick. I'm not pronouncing that last name. I don't fucking know. He's Yukio and Rin's granddaddy and is the final antagonist, more or less, of the filler arc. We'll get into that when we get into spoilers in a minute. This part of the filler is really fucking dumb.
It's very poorly thought out.
Well, he's voiced by Dave Mallow, the anti-Spiral from the Gurren Lagann anime. Yeah, we know they didn't get him back for the movies. And Shu from the Arc the Lad anime. Honestly, who throws a shoe? You fight like a turtle. Or woman. Whatever.
What the hell is an Akuma anyways?
Well, either way, he did fine, I guess. He's just voicing some old dick. We'll get into more of that in a bit, though. As far as rounding out the cast, young Yukio is voiced by Stephanie Shea, and young Rin is voiced by Wendy Lee. And holy shit, Wendy Lee especially has a lot of ad voices.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. Like, there's even moments where she's talking to herself. Or we cut from Shura to a flashback with young Rin.
Would you expect anything else from Bang Zoom?
No, but it's at the point where I think even a casual would notice. And the last one I'll mention, just because I like the running joke with him, is Tsubaki. He's one of the other teachers, voiced by Doug Airholes. Ichimaru from Bleach, and Kakuro from Naruto Shippuden. Second voice. Yeah, he constantly gets calls on his phone, and he's like, oh, again? It's my wife, you guys, my precious kitty cat. Got to abandon class now. It's a whole running joke with him.
The most surprising thing about him is revealed in the OVA. that he rides motorcycles in his first...
Yeah. It's one of those dudes. But that's our main cast, more or less. As far as the script, I mean... When he gets called away the first time, you have Izuma saying, we got ditched for a booty call. You got terms like Ren saying, well, I'll bounce, or BS, or sucka. Again, I don't mind these ones, if anyone's going to say anything. This is the type of localization that's okay with me, at least. Not like a certain other localization drama going on right now, and I already saw someone ask me to cover Lovely Complex. You, sir, are a dick.
Well, you could cover it with Nomi.
You ditch me, you're about to try, son of a bitch. Anyway. But yeah, there is also, one moment where Rin gets his sword stolen by a Maimon, and he says, I can't believe he took my sword so easy. I'm pretty sure he meant to say easily. I know Rin is stupid, but I genuinely think they just fucked up here, personally.
Yeah, but it sounds like something he would mistakenly say.
Yeah. But that's the only one I could realistically think of out of the whole franchise.
They're just lucky that that's believable enough for him to say, because of how stupid he is. A lot of the time.
Yeah. But yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, we're about to get into spoilers, and as mentioned, this show is really fucking good. Would highly recommend it. There's a lot of really great scenes. The dub is top notch across the board. I've seen people actually say they prefer the dub to the sub for this one, and you all know how rare that is. So, yeah, you could tell the people behind this actually genuinely cared about the project they were working on. So, spoilers time, Di.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Food Wars filler? That's the first thing I'm starting with out of the gate. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Stove.
Yeah, the stove demon. Ukobach. Where Ren is a really good cook. And, well, I thought that was hilarious. They did the whole thing where it's like they had a huge hard-fought battle, and Yukio runs in. He's like, I heard an explosion. Is something going on? It was just the kitchen. And Ren and Ukobach were both being like, you fought so hard, man. Yeah, your food was awesome. And they became best friends after that. I mean, hey, Ren's cooking is so good that Shima would even say, if you ever wanted to switch sides, you'd make an excellent wife.
Wife?
Yeah, wife. Sorry. I was about to correct myself. But yeah. But the confusing thing begins, speaking of filler, let's get into that, because, yeah. When episode 16 hits, some of the things from that are filler, while others are canon. It's going to be relevant to bring this up when we get to season 2, but holy shit, it is a mess. I think shows with the color in the title do I have this problem. Black Butler had a similar issue.
Yeah, especially when they're done by a studio that's a number in it.
I know. Which Black Butler we'll get to at some point. Patient. But yeah. Be patient, everyone. So, Ep 17 is the last one you need to watch if you just want to follow the canon material, and then you just could go straight into season 2. You just need to remember, though, the fight between Ren and Maimon in the courtroom is filler, so they're not going to reference it. Making things more fucking confusing.
Well, that's because the whole part with his sword being broken was also filler.
Yeah, which, speaking of that, it made sense for me to have a Maimon show up there and then get beaten again, because Mephisto's case was that Ren is very useful to taking on top-class demons. And then a Maimon shows up who's, again, a demon king, more or less, and Ren beats him in front of the court. So it gives him proof, like, okay, maybe we will take a bet on this. But if he flames up again... But from what we see, no, it's just they're willing to give him one chance regardless after Mephisto just says, come on, guys, he'll beat up Satan.
Maybe someday.
Yeah. This actually reminds me...
Filler ending.
This reminds me of a plot point in JJK. I think I mentioned that to you. You know where Yuji has a looming execution coming along because he has Sukuna's fingers and all that? Yeah. And they're like, we'll give him one chance, but if he fucks up once or goes out of control, he's executed. It's just literally the same thing here. Maybe the Gege Akatame actually took some inspiration. Who knows? As far as the filler arc goes... Okay, let's get into this. I saw some people say it's one of the worst filler arcs they've ever seen. I don't know if I'd go that far, but it does have a lot of retarded shit in it.
It has a lot of logic jumps, so it is pretty bad at some point.
Yeah, for example, Ernst or the grandfather shows up and talks to Yukio, and he's like, "I'll welcome you and your brother with me and become your new guardians." And then 5 minutes later, Yukio's like, "Well, what about my brother? Unfortunately, he can't come with us because he's been tainted by demon blood." What? But you just,
What?
I also, he somehow relieves the Grigori of their duties somehow and becomes the new head of the whole faction and court and everything for the Exorcist Order. Somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the plot with him is dumb, especially for someone who's as smart as Yukio, who just takes him at his word. Where he's like, "Oh, don't worry. If you help me out, do this ritual, we'll be able to destroy the demon realm, and then your brother will be free from having demonic powers. He'll just be a normal human." Yukio just trusts him at his word. That's it. He's like, "Oh, you're my granddad? Oh, you have a picture of my mom. Therefore, you must be right, not
You have a
fucking with
picture
me."
of my mom, who I've never
Who I've never
seen.
seen before. Yeah, it's like, it's really dumb. Rin believing him at face value. What up?
If you need your characters to be stupid for your plot to happen, then your plot is shit.
Yeah, because like I said, dude, if it was Rin, it makes sense. Rin is someone who trusts very easily. That's one of his problems. Like it's a double-edged sword, as they point out. Because he even trusts demons because he wants to help out everybody. But Yukio's always the skeptic, so it makes him look like a fucking retard here.
When your filler scriptwriter doesn't understand the characters.
Yeah, but I mean the backflash with Yukio's mom, who's voiced by Jeremy Lee, by the way, so that was cool. I guess she was actually barely in this, surprisingly. I thought she would be a major character in S2 or something, but I guess
She
not.
was like some ad voices afterwards too, because it is Bang Zoom we're talking about.
Yeah. Um, you find out that she was actually friends with Satan in the past because she found him in a forest when he tried crossing over to observe humans. And Satan put a baby in her. And
Somehow.
yeah, I think they're going for the whole religion thing, Virgin Mary thing, I guess, just flipping it with Satan, I guess. But yeah, and she wants to carry the child because she's like, he hasn't done anything wrong yet. He hasn't killed anybody. He just doesn't understand humans, etc. But of course, the Vatican prefer her dad, or Yukio's granddad, wants to put her to death, and even asks Shiro to do it. Who we see here, and Shiro's actually a massive demon racist and was going to do it until she dies in childbirth and he sees the babies, and that's when he changes his mind. It's like he's not gonna kill babies, man. Why would he? Because they look like normal humans, since they were half breeds and all. I don't know. I think this kind of works a little bit for what this filler's done.
Some of the logic in it jumped a bit.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Shiro being like an exorcist to a fault, where he hated any demons till he saw children from his friend.
I mean, he would have to be at some point with how he was the paladin.
Yeah, so, and she was one of his best friends, etc., like his childhood friends. So when he saw her kids, he's like, I can't do it. I'm not going to kill my best friend's kids, and right after she died. But yeah. Also, but it's after this where I think the filler does have some solid moments when Yukio gets possessed by Satan and him and Ren have a showdown or whatever. Also, JYB voicing possessed Yukio as Satan. Now he has to be over the top and have fun. It is one of my favorite one-liners against Shiro when she shows up. You know the one time.
Yeah.
He just says, "What are you gonna do? Kill me with your tits?" It's his delivery and everything, dude. It's fucking perfect. And the filter they gave him reminds me of like a shadow version of Adachi from Persona 4, if that makes sense, with how crazy he is. What up?
Oh, just gonna throw them into the TV.
You know what you do with a hooker.
Throw them into the TV.
But yeah. And then the moment where Ren ends up saving Yukio, when Yukio was about to do the exact same thing Shiro did, basically like, "I won't let you have my brother." He was literally going to shoot himself. And Ren's like, no, I can't have this happen again. You're all I have left. Again, I thought that was a really solid moment. And the dub performances really rang true there. Since, like, their whole family is gone. As far as when it comes to siblings, all they have is each other. Kind of like FMA. Reminded me a lot of that. Referencing all the anime today, Dai.
I'm getting all the tags I possibly can.
But, yeah. Like, it's moments like this that are really good that make me think the filler at least had potential and had some solid moments. This also when Yukio awakens to his demon powers. We will come back to that. It's going to be important in a bit. And him and Ren, as the sons of Satan, push back Satan and basically beat the shit out of him, forcing him back. And closing the gate. And yeah, I don't know. I like the ending of the filler arc, if that makes sense. But as we said, it's filler. And being as how we know there's more, you get the idea. Also, Maimon is a hamster in this, for some reason.
Because he turned into a hamster instead of dying.
Yeah, or whatever the fuck he was supposed to do in the manga. I think he just got sealed away in a clock in the manga or something. So the filler I'd call a mixed bag. As far as season 1 as a whole, really fucking good, actually. Oh, the one filler episode I did like, the birthday episode. You know why, Dai. The punchline joke with Mephisto.
Yeah, parts of that episode were... All the birth dates were 100% canon.
Yeah, so... But they hold a birthday party, basically, for Izumo, and then they're like, actually, we've passed a lot of people's birthdays, so why don't we host a birthday party for everybody at once? Because that's not fair, and it's like, okay. And Ren ends up making an angel cake, because they always celebrated Ren and Yukio's birthdays on Christmas.
A Christmas cake.
Yeah. And they're like, well, it doesn't work as a birthday cake. I know, let's give it to Mephisto. And Mephisto just goes, a cake celebrating the birth of Christ given to me, a demon? It's so stupid. I'm sorry, dude. It's so fucking dumb because he just his delivery and like everything. It's just so dumbfounded by it. It's like I don't fucking blame him, man. Do you? I mean, it's fucking stupid. But yeah, season 1 is fucking great. The filler, if you want to skip it, that's fine. But everything up 1 through 17 is fucking great. 100% great. The filler arc, I think, has its ups and downs.
Outside the parts you also have to slightly ignore.
Yep.
And the worst part is you have to ignore and acknowledge them.
Yeah, at the same time. It's a mess. But yeah. So that's season 1. But there was also an OVA for season 1 that was included with the box sets. I would love to own these, but they're done by Aniplex, and as anyone knows, they're fucking expensive. Why not spend that kind of money? Fuck that shit. But yeah, the OVA is Runaway Kuro, and it takes place after Ep 12?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's about Kuro. It's just a nice little OVA for him, where he ends up running away from home and says farewell to a ghost of Fujimoto at his grave. But I wanted to bring it up because one of the characters I didn't introduce yet, I was going to introduce here, is Takara, who's a student in their class that talks with a hand puppet. Or through a hand puppet. Voiced by Brienne Siddall, who's Jam from Outlaw Star and Gimme from Gurren Lagann. They actually got her back for the Gurren Lagann films, which I was surprised about. Not gonna lie. But you know why I'm bringing her up, Dai? The tongue twisters. She just randomly, like, Takara's just randomly saying tongue twisters. Like, one involving a fucking swan, because of course, how far did swan swim, swan? And it's like, what? I probably fucked that up, but you all get the idea. They actually tried making a lot of the voice actors say some of these out of panel, and they screwed them up. It's pretty funny to see. But yeah. I guess he does okay as Takara. He barely talks through his puppet. I don't know what else to say. And then we have the outtakes. I only got a couple of these. You could find them on YouTube, but they're hilarious. Like Bond saying, you don't need to believe in God. You just need to believe in the Kamina that believes in you.
I'm sure that's an outtake in everything he's been in.
My favorite one, though, and I know, Dai, you knew this would be my favorite one. The flashback with Fujimoto and young Ren.
Yep.
There's a scene where Fujimoto's trying to console Ren and be like, you can't let your temper get the better of you. You know, you gotta grow up and be a cool guy who doesn't hurt anyone and helps people. I want you to be a cool guy that all the chicks are into. And Ren just replies, but Dad, I'm gay. Damn it, I can't, dude. It's so stupid. I fucking loved it. Oh, it was great. But yeah, either way, that's the OVA and the outtakes. Moving on from that, though, right after that, we had the film. You like the film, Dai?
No.
So, Blue Exorcist, the movie, was announced in September of 2011, before Season 1 actually even wrapped up, which made a lot of people, I'm sure at the time, probably annoyed, thinking, great, we're not getting a Season 2. Okay, fuck you. And was released in Japan on December in 2012, and then the dub would come out the following year. I just want to bring up the lead writer for the film, who's Reiko Yoshida, who's worked on The Gray Man, Sayuki, and K-On!, all franchises involving exorcism of demons.
Wait.
What? You mean K-On!'s not about exorcists?
Yeah, sure. It's about exorcists.
Well, his most famous work is the film A Silent Voice. Something about it being nominated. I don't fucking know. Many awards. Something. Anyway. The film would apparently gross $6 million worldwide. The JJK Zero and Demon Slayer Mugen Train. This is not.
It
For
did
better.
involve a train, though.
Oh, it did. So the film involves us being told a story by Fujimoto, as he's telling it to young Ren and Yukio, about some demon that became friends with a boy in a village 500 years ago or something. I forget the exact time frame. But then an exorcist came and sealed the demon away, and yeah, made the boy sad or something. And yeah, after that, of course, the demon gets released, and Fujimoto at the end of the story is like, what would you guys do if you met the demon? Would you be his friend, or would you seal him away? I don't know. I thought the film was okay. It goes with the whole theme of, you find out the demon involved is a memory eater, and he wants to eat memories sad memories in order to keep people happy that he cares about. So y'all could see the theme right away, that you need both good and bad memories, and I think it works well for that.
Gotta memorize.
You gotta memorize! Speaking of which, the main demon of the film is Usamuro, who's voiced by Cassandra Lee Morris. And I already went over shit she's voiced in, but yeah, and she does fine. I mean, it's an actual character. Pakun's barely there, and Nee is just a plant. So, yeah. Also, ADR director is still Alex Von David. It's always going to be. As far as the other major character in this film, who I honestly remember playing more of a major role before we rewatched it for this time, I
don't know why you thought he played a major role.
Dude, he's listed on the main cast list. They're stupid. Changlong Liu, who's a Taiwanese exorcist, who basically is a demon racist, and he wants to kill the demon child or whatever, but Rin's against it.
I mean, you say he's a demon racist, but you would think he'd be more hostile towards Rin.
Yeah, he always says, like, so that's the spawn of Satan? Ridiculous, etc., and that's really it.
Because he thought he would, and he says it because he thought he would be tougher.
Yeah,
So it's like, shouldn't you be more aggressive towards him?
Yeah.
Like, I'm confused.
Well, I should also mention the placement of this film. It's during the filler session, because Maimon's a hamster, so that's the dead giveaway, and people know about Rin's transformation in his flames. But yeah. As far as Changlong Liu, he's voiced by Todd Abercorn, Natsu from Fairy Tail, and Skune from Rosario Vampire. Where's our remake of that, man? Not letting that joke go. I want a remake.
You don't.
Oh.
You do not want a remake, especially in this day and age.
Well, that's why I want a remake. Market it with whatever. Point is, Todd did a good job. He always does good work. All right? He's good voicing the Taiwanese man.
Stupid Lycan.
Yeah, what does he fight with, actually? He uses a stick, right?
Yeah, a staff.
Yeah. I mean, it is... I do want us to see Exorcist from other branches. We hear Shura's from another branch. I think... No, it's not her. Yeah, it's her and Arthur, right? They're from other branches?
Maybe?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they make comments like that they're from a different branch or something, but I want to see more of that. Like, Exorcists from around the world. That'd be fucking cool. So at least we get a sneak peek of that, because I wonder if they fight differently. And Chenglong Liu, I guess, kind of does. But yeah, as far as the rest of the voice cast, they all fit right back into the roles very nicely. Bryce would even say he was very happy to come back and voice in the film, because it had been a huge gap since the end of Season 1 and dubbing of this film. So, I mean, the gap couldn't have been that big, right? The film's dub came out in August, and Season 1's dub wrapped up in March? Give or take? I'll fuck it up.
This is before simuldubs. They probably recorded it in one session.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
So it probably could have been like a year or more, depending on when they started recording Season 1.
Yeah, there is one thing we should mention. When Chenglong Liu, who is the descendant of the Exorcist that sealed away the demon, which I thought was good. That's why I thought it was going to be a more major role where Ren is going to have to fight this dude. Or even Yukio was going to have to fight him in some sort of exorcist off, being like, no, my brother's right, or something. But, yeah, there's a scene where he's going over his backstory, and he starts talking. You brought this up before it fades into his story, so it shows him talking without his lips moving.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know if that was an animation fuck-up or if the dub had no choice but to do that to match up with the timing of the Japanese. Because apparently there was a point they had to do that in the final Evangelion film. I didn't know that before dub started. That was my own fault. I admit that. But anyways, yeah. So, take with that what you will. I don't know.
The film just kind of exists.
I liked it. So, I'd say give it a shot. It's only 90 minutes. It ends with Usamaru eating time to save the city and basically erasing his existence, except Ren remembers, and Chenglong. And Chenglong's like, I was wrong about demons. I saw what that little boy did. He saved everybody. And I saw what you did, too. So, maybe you've swayed my actions. And the plot of this is very similar to Bleach Memories of Nobody. I didn't even notice that till watching this again either. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still enjoyed it for what it was. The message it was trying to go for I thought was okay. The whole memories thing. Got it memorized?
No.
Oh.
We already did that.
Well, anyway. That's the film. It's only 90 minutes. It's basically like a 3-episode mini-arc if you want to treat it like that. I didn't even ask how the animation was, Did they actually flex their budget a little bit? It is a movie.
I mean, you would ask that, but that would require there to be action.
Well, the movie was more focused on the character building and the relationship between Ren and Usamaru.
It's like they tried to a little bit with the demon train.
Yeah, there's a runaway demon-possessed train, which means, yeah, Mugen Train stole it from this shit. This did it first.
Yeah, except one of them is very ugly CGI, and the other is this.
You're supposed to say one involves a character voiced by Bryce, who's a demon slayer taking on a demon-possessed train, while the other is a character voiced by Bryce taking on a demon-possessed train.
Yeah, you know if you're gonna say he uses a katana to fight demons. Well, the other... Anyways.
But yeah. So, you thought the movie was okay. I think I liked it a little more than you did, but I don't know. You guys can watch it. You decide. Let us know. But now, we're finally moving on to the final piece of today's video. After a year. Blue Exorcist, Kyoto Saga, or Season 2. Which, when this was announced, I was really hyped, till I saw how confusing the continuity was about to be.
Very confusing.
So it aired in January of 2017, with only 12 episodes, half the length of Season 1, S1. Oh, you fucking dicks. Aniplex would just put all 12 episodes dump on the Hulu app later that year. And, yeah. This is very sweet. So this season picks up right after episode 17 of Season 1, like we said. And it's right after... Yeah. Ren is still having to train to get his flames under control, and the class all know that Ren is now the spawn of Satan. In fact, everyone basically knows it's an open secret now. And they're all standoffish towards him, so he has to earn back their trust, more or less. As they go to Kyoto because a rogue exorcist named Toto has stolen what's known as the Eyes of the Impure King, who is a very powerful demon, and he wants to resurrect him or something. So they gotta stop him. And in the Kyoto Saga, or when they get to Kyoto, you see the classmates' families, such as Shima's and Bond's. So you get a lot more on their characters. That's basically the setup for it. We're going to get into why some of the characters I feel don't really work very well in a second. I'm pretty sure you agree with me on that, Dai.
There were other characters?
Yeah. So, animation for this season, Dai. Was it still good?
Yeah.
Still the same studio and all that.
I mean, really, if you think about it, this season only has 11 episodes because one of them's entirely, essentially, Shiro Flash.
That still counts as an episode, though. What? I don't understand.
I mean, devoted to the main plot of this season.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, but I mean, that's still from the manga. This season seems to follow the manga to a T. I saw some people saying that there's some deviation. I wasn't able to find much, but...
I mean, it could be the typical altering the order of events.
Yeah, which, that's fine, I guess.
So
yeah.
It flows better, which is typical.
As far as OST, my favorite new theme they added is called Fire On, which is like the final boss theme of this season. I don't know, dude. I told you, it reminds me of one of the Virgil boss fight themes from DMC3 a little bit. Really cool fucking song.
Yeah.
But yeah. As far as the characters, okay, so we got a few to go over. First, we've got the Hojo family who work at the temple. And, yeah, Momoshi Hojo, who's voiced by Brina Palencia, who's Juvia from Fairy Tail, and Ciel from Black Butler. And...
Ciel Corbin.
No, this isn't The Last of Us 2. But, she does fine, I guess. There's this whole plot thread where you're trying to figure out, or they're trying to figure out who the traitor is that handed Toto the eye, and helped him out. And the problem is, though, is it doesn't work very well because you have barely any time to get to know these characters before the traitor's revealed. By the time you get there, they're already at each other's throats.
Yeah. The traitor is revealed 5 seconds later.
Yeah, it's like...
It's like, oh, the person you were possibly setting up as a red herring just was the traitor? Okay.
Yeah, well, we already said spoilers, so it's Momoshi. She's the traitor, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, cool, we barely knew anything about her. She claims she's doing this to try seeing how trustworthy the head priest is and what he'll do, because...
Clearly needed more episodes to focus on these people.
Yeah, or...
Which is why I brought up the whole flashback episode, because that took away from time to flesh out these people.
Yeah, but I did like the flashback episode, because it did show Shiro was still around and friends with the parents, or whatever, so I think it was necessary too. That's why I like, extend this. Make this, this should have been like a 24-ep season at least, or maybe 16-ep season, I don't know. Yeah, she does fine. She's on the main cast list, but she's only in like 2 or 3 eps, honestly.
Yeah.
So she feels a little undercooked, in my opinion. Just like her dad, Uwabami Hojo, voiced by Jake Eberl, who's Daniel from Gundam Build Divers, and Takashi from Housing Complex C. The only character we really identified with in that show. We did a whole video on that if you all want to see it. And he does fine, I guess, too, but he's another one who's just a priest working at the temple that we don't get much on, other than he's worried about his daughter and disappointed that she's the traitor coon. That's all I really got. Yeah. Now, another character we do get a lot on is Tatsuma Suguro, who's Bond's dad, voiced by Michael McConaughey, who's Charles Britannia from Code Geass, and one of the voices of Shamisen from Haruhi. I know, we missed the Shamisen thing. Okay, yeah. I don't know how it's going on that. Whatever. Anyway. Nothing but dads, right, Di?
Yeah.
And he does fine. He'd actually make a comment saying working with Alex Von David was really great because Alex would take his time to make sure all the takes were 100% correct before moving on. So, the kind of ADR director that you'd really want on a show. Is that wrong?
No, that's
yeah,
very wrong.
Him and Bond are at odds with each other, again, playing into the theme of the whole family thing, where, because Bond is angry, saying his dad is being very lazy with his priestly duties. When you find out there's a reason for it. It's like, he's not telling me anything, he's keeping me closed up, blah, blah. It works really well. But I'll get into that after we're done with our main cast. So, after that, we have Juzu Shima, who's Shima's older brother, voiced by Xander Mobus, Ren from P5, and Gro from Soul Calibur 6. And he's the other one they're trying to point the finger at, be Traitor Kun, but again, we don't know much about him at first, do we?
Except that he's loyal to Bond?
Yeah, because the Shima family is meant to protect the Suguro family because the Suguros are the head honchos there. They're the royal, basically the main bloodline family, whereas the Shimas are the beast sect, or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah. And he does fine, I guess. He's a little more there than Mamashi.
Whatever you say, Mr. Robot.
Roboto! But yeah, he's okay. Then we have...
Mike has been doing that a lot.
Can you still understand me?
Yes.
Now I'm really worried. I'm really worried now, man. I don't want to have to do this again. You sure we're good?
Yes, we're good. You should probably find a better mic that doesn't do that this
Well, after that we have Yaozo Shima, the daddy, who's voiced by Keith Silverstein, Zhongli from Genshin Impact, and Stark from Bleach. And, yeah, he's fine
there, like the rest of them.
Yeah, it's alright, I guess. No, nothing bad to say about him. Only a couple people left, don't worry. Because next we have our main villain, Toto, voiced by Ray Chase, who's Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen and Noctis from FF15. Dude, he voices villains a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he's good at being the villain. They basically do the whole thing where he's what Yukio could become, is what they're going for here. Because it's like, I had a brother I looked up to also, but I was loyal to my family, and look how I turned out, blah, blah, blah. You're just like me. No. As far as rounding out the dub cast, you got Ben Diskin, Kerry Walgren, Lauren Landau. So, we got some new people in here. Cam Clark. But yeah, everyone else fits right back into their role nicely. There's a lot of really good dub scenes too.
Yeah, it's just a season. It's a season that needed more episodes so we could spend more time with these characters.
Yeah, the new characters get it the worst. The main cast are fine. Like Ren basically talking to Konakamaru about friendship. Be like, dude, just because I get why you hate my dad, but I'm not him. Just because, I have his blood in my veins, stop judging me for his actions. It's that whole thing. Just because someone's a dick doesn't mean the whole family's a piece of shit. And I think it works really well. Also, Shami's crying about feeling useless. That was really well done, too. One of the other better dub scenes was Bond being angry at his dad and yelling at him, saying, "Don't let the door hit you on the way out." And Ren getting extremely pissed off, saying, "You better fix things with him before it's too late." Because obviously Ren didn't get the chance to. He was a dick to his dad, and, well, look what happened.
It's okay, his dad got a whole entire episode.
I like that episode a lot, though. Also, you get Yukio versus Toto, which, yeah, JYB had fun shouting about how he hated himself for being weak, that he both loves and hates his brother for the whole Flames thing. Yeah, there's a lot of really good character work with the main cast. Like we said, it's the new cast that get kind of fucked.
Needed more screen time.
Also, Yukio's demon powers slightly awaken again, making the filler even more stupid.
Yeah.
Because during his fight with Toto, don't his eyes flame up?
Yeah. Why is everything blue?
I'm seeing in Smurf vision!
I fell in a blueberry bush.
But yeah, as far as dub lines, I mean, you got Ren calling his friends his homies, which I don't mind that. Again, I think it's funny.
And it's in line with what the stuff he said before in Season 1.
Dude, his banter with Bon when they get back on the same page, because you find out Bon isn't angry that he's the son of Satan. He's angry because Rin lied to him and kept it from him. He's like, dude, I thought it was your friend, you son of a bitch. And you find out it's because Bon, he basically hates when people don't rely on him for anything. Like his dad did. His dad kept secrets from him, and he's like, I was here to help. I wanted to help you, Dad, etc. That type of shit really pisses him off. And again, I think Rin and Bon's banter is really good too. You can tell that even though they're rivals, they still really respect one another and like each other, etc., and are still friends. Like Rin's saying to Bon, oh, stop being such a whiny princess. Pull up your skirt, babe, and let's get to work. Again, I love their banter. His Bon's like, stop calling me princess! They keep it around each other. Yeah. And
you just know the Zelda quote is an outtake.
Oh, I'm sure. Excuse me, princess. As far as the Antag being the Impure King, I mean, it's not really so much of an Antag. It's just an obstacle they need to stop. Kind of like Jiren.
Monster.
Just like Jiren.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, being a dick.
It's a gray blob monster. Jiren's gray. Coincidence? I think not.
See, you guys get Jiren in here. Hey, Patrick Seitz is in this dub too, so there you go. You get Jiren. But anyway, yeah, season was all right. I don't think it's as good as season 1, but that's mostly because the new characters just aren't as interesting to get invested to, with the exception of Bon's dad.
If this was 24 episodes like season 1, it probably could have been.
Yeah, Bon's dad's the only character I got to know a lot about, and we could really identify with.
Yeah.
It's like when at the end in the final episode, when
the only character that's fleshed out is from that group is his dad.
Yeah, because Juzu in the final episode is like, I'm gonna marry Momoshi. I don't care if she's Trader Kun. She's my type of woman, and we fucked. It's like, okay, you guys shared maybe 10, 15 minutes of screen time together this whole fucking season. Good for you, I guess.
All of it was.
And all of it was arguing. Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
Arguing and violence.
This marriage is gonna last a long time. But yeah. I mean, the final episode also gives us teasing about what's to come, with Shura talking with Mephisto, being like, whose side are you on? And Mephisto's like, wouldn't you like to know what I'm planning? I've got great plans for Ren. As Shura's like, hey, he's my responsibility. Don't be an asshole. She even makes the comment saying, you even put someone like Takara in his class. So, wonder what that's alluding to.
Well, you see, that's alluding to the fact that that in season 3 they skipped over 2 arcs.
Yep, I was getting to that. So, season 2, final thoughts on it. It's solid. It's still worth watching. Not as good as S1, but it's okay. It's still worth watching.
Also confusing because of the filler, but that's you expected from A1 at this point.
Yep. So, season 3 was announced a little while back. I'll get into more detail on that, but I wanted to bring this up real quick because they're doing stupid shit with it. It's based on the Illuminati arc. Illuminati. And they skipped 2 entire arcs of the manga. the Terror of the Kraken arc and the Academy 7 Wonders arc. Which, from what I looked up, both arcs are short, but that still brings up the point, why are you skipping them in general?
They will condense them into an entire episode.
Probably. This anime needs a remake, which is basically the consensus at the end of the day. This had the potential to be a massive fucking IP, but A1 I felt got way too ahead of themselves, jumping on the bandwagon, making it too quickly. So because of that, they ran...
Butler?
Yeah. You'll be hearing that again when we cover Black Butler. If they just waited a little longer and maybe made it a few years down the line, they could have done what My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer do. You know, one 12 to 24 episode season a year. They have enough manga material to go for it. But unfortunately, we have what we have. And at the end of the day, what is that? Something that's still really fucking good in my opinion. The good far outweigh the bad. Who would have thought something that's apparently inspired by Berserk would be another one of my fave animes? Are you shocked to die?
No.
I mean, I want to put this in top 10, but it's still definitely really fucking good. Will we be covering Season 3? Yes! If they simuldub it. By the time this goes up, maybe they'll announce a simuldub. I don't know. Or they'll probably wait for the Blu-ray to drop like they did with Monica Magica Gaiden. Who knows? Just dump the whole thing. MVP for the dub. I don't think I have one. Everyone did a really good fucking job. Bryce did good. JYB did good. Christina Marie Cabanos did good. Wendy Lee. Everyone did really fucking good. You could tell they all cared about the show and genuinely enjoyed working on it. Anything else to add, Di, before we get out of here?
We'll be back. We'll be back with the next show where he plays another dad.
Oh, Kirk? Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, what if he would be someone's dad? I mean, hey, Jubane BlazBlue, there's another dad.
Yeah. Especially with whenever Mashal starts.
Whenever that begins. But yeah. Thanks again so much for sticking with us this whole time, guys. Really appreciate it. This one went on a while, but there was a lot to cover. And, yeah. We'll be back with more Blue Exorcist in the future, I hope. I swear to fuck Aniplex, if you decide not to dub this one, I'm gonna be pissed. I want to see it, damn it.
Aniplex just makes the best decisions.
Yep. Well, till next time, guys. Thanks again so much for watching. I want to know what you think now, below and all that stuff. And who Beskro is, and why the answer is Shammy, or Izumo.
I can't even decide.
I mean, if anyone said Shura, I don't waifu that, but I couldn't argue. She's an extremely likable character, so... But alright, guys. Until next time, have a good day.